Hello music muffins. Today I'm going to be opening up to you guys again about something that I have dealt with and still deal with now. It might be useful to some of you watching this, and also, as I've said before, I think it's important for me to be honest with you about everything. So yeah, last time I made one of these videos I was talking about my anxiety problems, and in this video I'm going to be talking about depression. Now, there's a lot of stigma around depression, and it's this big scary word, and sometimes when people know that you have it, they look at you differently. But I kind of want to break that stigma, and I want to just talk to you a little bit about my experiences with it, and maybe you'll be able to relate and feel less alone. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you about some of the things that I experience. I used to have it a lot more severely than I do now. I still have it to some degree, but I used to have it like so much worse. I used to fully hate myself, like everything about myself. I couldn't even look in the mirror without wanting to just punch it, because I just hated the sight of myself that much. I just didn't like anything about me. Anything that was good about me, I didn't see it, and anytime someone complimented me, I just told them that they were wrong and that they shouldn't love me, and all that kind of stuff, because I didn't love myself, so I couldn't see how anybody else could possibly love me. I thought I deserved really bad things. I thought I didn't even deserve to have my life, and when it was really bad, I actually did self-harm. I mean, I never like cut or anything, but I used to leave like grazes on my skin and bruises and all that kind of stuff, and scratches and that kind of thing. Like, I never use a knife necessarily, but that's, I guess, part of the stigma. People always assume that if you self-harm, then that's the only way that you do it, but it's not. There's lots of different ways that people self-harm. That is not the only one. Sometimes it's not even injuring yourself. Sometimes it's just not eating or making pain worse that you already have. So I don't know if you had a headache or something, you just not take anything for it, because that would either not make it worse or at least not make it better, right? So you're kind of punishing yourself. So I did those things sometimes as well. And when it was at its worst, there were times when I actually thought about suicide, and again, that's a heavily stigmatized word, and people will be scared when you say that, but there's nothing scary. I mean, obviously it's scary, people wanting to do that, but I just mean, well, it's hard to explain what I mean, but it shouldn't be stigmatized. People shouldn't run away from you just because of that. They should be there to help you, and thankfully I did. I had family and friends, and so just generally I had support to get me through it. And yeah, without that, I don't know what would have happened to me, because those thoughts were not just, I never just said those things for attention. I genuinely thought about it, but thankfully I just never had the guts to really go through with it, and I'm glad, because if I had, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now and helping you, hopefully, and maybe making you happy, less lonely, I don't know. But if I had gone through with it, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I guess it's just a story to you guys. If you think there's no reason to carry on, then you only have to look at me and you'll see that there is a reason, because things do get better. So in my case, there are different things that might have caused it, possibly a combination. The first one is that I was bullied at school, and that's probably what caused my anxiety as well. I mean, it wasn't like the worst bullying I've ever heard of. There are people who had it worse than me, but it was maybe bad enough to, bring down my self-esteem, and just made me think, well, if they hate me, maybe I should hate myself too. I don't know. So maybe that played a part, but most likely most significant cause of it was probably my brother's death, and it's hard to say that because it's obviously sad, and I don't like to think about it or talk about it much, and maybe that's not helping me. And especially earlier on when it happened and stuff, at first I let things out because obviously it's hard to control, but then I would just bottle everything in all the time, holding it in, bottling up everything, and I don't know, maybe that did some damage, whether it was just the event itself, I don't know, but that's what I think maybe caused it. So if you've been through either of those things and you've ended up with depression, and then there maybe is some connection between those things. I guess the really important thing about this video is I want to just say that if you have depression and you feel alone, then you can just look at me and know that you're not, because I am here for you, and I know that there will be people who care about you and would support you if they only knew what you were going through. Everyone feels like that no one would care, but there is always people who care and people who would miss you if you gave up. I for one would miss you, so just remember that if you feel like you don't believe in yourself and you don't love yourself, just know I believe in you and I love you, and I honestly believe you can get through this, because you're looking at a depression fighter right now. I fought through, I would say, the worst of it, and I fight through it every day, and the worst of the thoughts I used to have are gone. So if you keep fighting it, you can get to that point too. It's not easy to do. I had to do a lot of things to get myself there. I didn't just wake up one morning and it was gone. And I guess that's the hard thing, because when you have it, you're demotivated and you don't want to do anything, and getting help can be scary as well. Which I guess goes on to the next bit, because a lot of the things I did to help it actually was more self-help than anything else. I've actually never been to a doctor or had it diagnosed or anything. I know I have it because I did loads of research. I didn't just self-diagnose on a whim. I made sure that I knew what it was and everything, and yeah. But I've never seen a doctor, I've never had medication or anything like that. For all the understandable reasons, I was scared and just thought I should do it alone. But anyway, at least that way I've managed to develop some ways of managing it on my own that I can give to you, that you can try out, and hopefully they will be able to help you, even if it's only a little bit. One of the significant things that I've done that's actually really helped me is a positive thoughts diary, which can be very hard when you're really depressed and you don't seem to have any positive thoughts at all. And it was hard for me at first, and I struggled to come up with things. But then when I really thought about it, I'd find something, even if it was just one thing each day. And so yeah, at the end of every day I would write about good things that happened that day and things. And then basically as time went on, I was able to think of more things, and it was easier to think of them. And I guess I just trained myself to see the positives more easily and focus less on the negatives. And actually what I also used to do was I'd put any negatives that stood out to me and put a positive spin on. So let's say I don't know, let's say I got up later than I wanted to originally. Let's say that, for example, that would be a negative, but then I could spin it maybe to say that I got up earlier than the day before, or that at least I got out of bed, you know, because once upon a time it was hard to even do that. So congratulate yourself for the little things as well, as what I would say. Even if you get up late, congratulate yourself for getting up at all, because you are strong for doing that. So just keep that in mind. And a similar thing that I've started doing more recently is like little post-its, and they're what I call my reasons to be positive notes. I'll show you actually. So let's just say this one. You can see there's the date and the title, there's 3 positives and a bonus one. You don't have to do it exactly like that, but from that you can see kind of like the layout that I use, and basically, yeah, I do that at the end of every day, and I do little drawings and like colour, you know, do it with bright colours, and I guess it just calms me writing it as well. So it's therapeutic at the same time. Not only is it making me focus on positives, but it's calming to do the drawings and the different colours. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, is that the phrase? I don't know, but yeah, if you— oh, that's my phone vibrating. Sorry, my phone is being very rude and interrupting this video. That's another thing that I've done, but they're not the only things, they're just things that I've done. Another thing is to accept compliments. It's hard to do that, trust me, I know it's hard when you don't believe those things, but that's the idea, that what you do is you accept the compliments even if you don't think they're true. Like when people used to say I was pretty and I used to think, no, I'm ugly, I would just say thank you anyway, and it would make me feel better about myself, and I'd feel good because I accepted their compliment, which would make them feel good too. And yeah, like I said, it's hard at first, but if you keep doing it, the practice trains your brain, and eventually you start thinking, maybe those compliments are true, and you start believing positive things about yourself, which you should, because you're amazing, by the way. You're probably watching this right now thinking, no, I'm not, but trust me, right, you are awesome and strong and brave and amazing. Even if you don't have depression, you're still amazing, but yeah, you're awesome. But those aren't the only things you can do. Of course, I would, despite the fact that I never did it, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite here, I would recommend going to a doctor, getting medication, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with taking medication. The stigma against it, again, there shouldn't be. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not weak to take medication. It's not weak to seek help. Look, I will show you. Look, I'll show you my box on camera, see? I'm not ashamed of this. It's just a box, tablets. If it was a box of ibuprofen or paracetamol, no one would say, oh, you should be ashamed. Or if I was taking something for a physical illness, I'm sure people wouldn't shame me for that either. So why should people be shamed for mental illness? They shouldn't, right? I don't understand the stigma, and personally I would say don't listen to that rubbish, and if you need help, get it. If you think medication will help, try it out, because you never know. And the other thing I'll say about that is you won't necessarily be on the right one the first time. I've recently just changed my medication. That's actually for my anxiety, but anyway, it still kind of applies here. But yeah, so don't lose hope, and don't— just be patient basically, and stay optimistic, and I'm sure you'll eventually find something that works for you. And if you have it in conjunction with therapy or something as well, or the things that I recommend, do all of those, then hopefully you'll be able to see some results. And yeah, that would be really cool actually. If any of you guys are suffering from it, I'd like to think that something will help you, because I don't want you to suffer for the rest of your life like I did. The way I had it before, I wouldn't want anyone to have that level forever. Like, I just can't imagine how— I'm just gonna move on, because yeah, I know from experience how much strength it takes to seek help and to just let people know that you're struggling. So don't think that you're weak if you ask for help or if you turn to other people, because I know how much strength it takes, and I know how brave you have to be to let people in and allow them to help you. So if you do it, then you're very brave and very strong, and I'm proud of you for doing it. So any of you guys out there watching this who are suffering with depression, I honestly 100% believe you can get through this, you can overcome it, you can do all the things that it's stopping you from doing. And I'm so proud of you for getting through each day, for doing all those little things that you don't consider to be achievements, even though they took you a lot of strength to do them. Like, just not wanting to brush your hair, but you did it anyway, or not wanting to shower, but you did it anyway. Good on you for doing it. You're awesome. You're a badass for doing those things. And I just want you to realize how strong you are, how awesome you are, how beautiful you are, without changing yourself, without pretending to be someone you're not. You yourself are amazing as you are, okay? So don't let anybody else tell you that you're not, or to put you down, or tell you not to follow your dreams, or tell you that you're never going to get past this monster called depression, because let me tell you now, you're stronger than that monster. Much stronger, and I know for a fact that you can get through this and that you're not alone. I'm here for you always, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Ask your family, ask your friends, ask anyone, even if you don't have those people. There's helplines, there's people out there online or anywhere that you can talk to and support you through it. So don't ever believe that you're alone, because there are people who can help you. Hopefully, maybe I can be one of those people, I don't know. But I just want you to know that I can be a friend to you if you want me to be. Love heart for all of you guys. I love you so much. Hug time. Oh, nice huggy hugs. Yum yum yum. I've talked about everything I think I need to in this video, so I think I'm probably just going to leave it here. If you have any questions for me about my depression or about anxiety or anything like that, feel free to ask me down in the comments. I will reply to you as best I can, and just try and give you the best answer that I have. And yeah, you know me, I'm always trying to reply to my comments, so if there's anything you want to know, don't be afraid to ask me. And if you just need general support, or if you want to share your story with me or anything like that, you can do that too, because that's what friends do, right? They help each other, they, you know, tell each other things. That's why I'm doing this in the first place. I'm your friend, just remember that. And you don't need to be afraid of telling me anything. I certainly wouldn't tell anybody else about it or anything like that, because that would not be right. Come to me for help if you want to. If you're too afraid to ask anybody else, just know that I'm here to help. If you like this video and if it helped you, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos on the channel, then obey the cushion, and I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye. Extra love heart, because I love you guys so much. One was not enough, and extra kisses and extra hugs for all of you who need it, because I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.